My name is Johnny Gargano, and you're listening to, we're kind of watching right now. Given
Yeah,
video.
we're watching, yeah.
We're watching it. You're watching We Are Wrestling.
Test is sponsored by We Are Wrestling. You can find
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host, the best one, Donnie, here with...
The second host with the most, Ben. How you guys do? Another episode of We Are Wrestling, but today we got a special one for you. So what are we cooking up today, Donnie?
Today we are going to be talking about video games. Not just your ordinary video games. I know there's a bunch of YouTubers out there that talk about them Call of Duties and Fortnites and NBA 2Ks. Yep. We are going to be talking about the one thing that we talk about here on the We Are Wrestling channel, and that is wrestling. Wrestling video games. We're going to be covering it all from WWE to friggin' TNA. They had one game, WCW, ECW, all the fun stuff. And unfortunately, you guys are probably wondering where Denny Huckins is.
Where the hell is Edge? But have no fear, the rated R superstar is here. Continue.
Yeah, so a lot of people, you guys are probably all wondering where the hell Danny is, because he's been on every episode of the We Are Wrestling talk show. Well, unfortunately, Danny decided to, stay up past his bedtime for another millionth stream that nobody gives a fuck about.
It's almost like that fucking meme from Where the Millers. They're like, wait, you guys have bedtimes? Like, wait, you guys are getting paid? That's literally Dan right now.
Yeah, so with Danny, unfortunately, guys, he's been streaming a lot, and he is taking a fat nap for once. He's actually sleeping. Yep. So we do not want to poke the bear, if you know what I'm saying. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know, the grind is real. There you go, friggin' Ben, with the Chris Masters.
Bring out the gun shows, bro. Oh, fucking...
Chris Masters.
I can hear it in my head. I can hear the... I love that dude. I hope he's killing it in NWA, right?
NWA.
Yeah, he's killing it. Okay.
I believe he's the television champion over there.
Yeah, he is. He looks great to this day still. Like, he's looking good, man.
That's one wrestler that I'm so mad never comes around our area.
Yeah.
Is Chris fucking Masters.
It's hard,
because
man.
For me, when like the Ruthless Aggression era, yeah, you had your John Cena's and stuff, but like, I love Chris Masters, man.
I feel like he was one
dude.
dude.
Was great.
I feel like he was one dude that just did not have like the opportunity that he should have, man. He should have had more of like a prestigious career in WWE, man. He should have like captured an Intercontinental or US. I could have seen him as a
world champion.
Yeah, a WWE champion. Just book him correctly, set him up with the right people to put him over, and that's it. His mic skills were good. Like
it worked. Master Lock Challenge.
Dude, that was some of the most exciting fucking times in fucking wrestling, man. That was like my golden era.
The entrance, he looked like $1 million freaking dollars.
He was literally the masterpiece, and they gave him like the Titantron worth it. They gave him the whole everything. He had it all, which is why I am like fucking mind blown that he didn't get like a significant push.
I know, man. It's absolutely crazy. But here's the thing, man. I think pretty soon Danny's going to be the masterpiece, I think.
Maybe. One day.
I don't know. I really think so.
Maybe with some discipline and a right bedtime.
Yeah, he probably thought it was 4:40 at night as we're recording this, but right now it's 4:40.
Yeah, it's like a legitimate 4:40, so... I don't know, man. Danny's, as you guys can tell, he's an interesting character with some very opposing views, but that's for another time.
Yeah, but hey, he grinds a lot, and he's always on here, doing the talk show. So
we're lucky to have him, man.
we could have waited for Danny for this episode, but we want to give Danny that break because he's been grinding
out,
a lot,
and he still goes. He doesn't know what burnout is, but he lives burnout. So you know what? I don't even blame him, and there's enough knowledge to go around in this episode, so we good.
Yes, absolutely, and you played probably a lot of wrestling video games.
Yes.
I know I have as well,
yes.
and here's the thing. Danny he's going to kill us because this was his idea.
It really was, which is even more criminal, the fact that we're sitting here doing it, but the majority of the good games are WWE games.
Here's the thing. I just realized I do not feel bad at all whatsoever because remember what happened last week on the talk show?
Nope, it's not happening.
Hear me out for a minute.
If it's garbage, you're leaving the fucking stream.
I thought I knew you. Like, he tries to get into Randy's mind a little bit to bring the Viper back out of Randy, and that'll cause Randy to be like, you know, maybe I need to.
He's muted. He's just talking. I can't even hear him. Bye. So I'm glad you're muted. You deserve this mute. You deserve that mute because honestly, the fucking shit couldn't have been any timed any clearer. Like even the even the universe is sick of his bullshit. The WWE guys were like, yeah, fuck this guy. Dude, it worked so perfect. They were like listening to his opinion and just cut his shit halfway through.
That wasn't the universe.
My face hurts. My stomach.
Yo, where is he, man? I can't get him
He's
back.
gone. The other co-host. There he is.
Hey.
Would you turn Randy Orton fucking heel? He has to be heel in the whole situation. You fucking cockspoon.
Oh yeah.
Remember what happened with his opinion about Edge should be fighting Randy Orton?
Yeah.
And then I shut him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what happens when this is the consequences you get, Danny, for
Thanks for the idea, bro, but we're gonna make it our bitch.
That's right. I'm sure he'll probably give his opinion on Danny H Vlogs, and he'll probably try to get it uploaded before us, so don't watch that video and watch ours.
Boycott that one video, but support him nonetheless.
Yes, of course, because, you know, he is a part of the We Are Wrestling family.
Very vital part, and he's been fucking helping carry the torch with you, man, so I gotta give it to Danny.
Yeah,
He's
seriously,
definitely the
man.
GOAT.
Danny, like, in all seriousness, guys, you know, we roast him all the time and stuff, but Danny really does come in clutch for us. When we need him, he's always there.
Man, and like
it's just, you know,
I
pushes
gave
us.
you the shout out, I think last week or the other video before. I really got to give Danny a good shout out here for a sec because, in my ultimate opinion, I don't even think be on YouTube or as big as I am on YouTube, and I'm not big by any means. I'm literally about to hit break 700, but I owe that to Danny because he's not only the person that helped inspire even the idea, but he is a lot of the reason as to why I'm on this platform in general. And because of that, I've been able to express myself, get a good hobby out of it, but I've also been, more of a part of this huge wrestling community because of Danny as well, because he sparked my interest in it again and has kept me in the game for almost 10 years now. So, I really gotta give Danny a shout out and tell him that he's really, this like break during this video is very warranted for him. So I just have to say that Dan is the GOAT, man.
And that's the thing, and I want to, be serious for a second here as well. Danny and I, we always wanted to work together. We always, wanted to collab because me and him, both have been YouTubers since day one. Yeah, pretty much. We were, neighbors for quite a while, and
I met you through him.
Yeah, and there would be times where, Danny and I, we would always try to work together, but it never really worked out. And then, unfortunately, I had some problems going on with the We Are Wrestling channel, couple, co-hosts in the past.
Yep.
But that's, for another day.
Absolutely.
Which, keep all that confidential.
We'll do a history of one day.
like 10 years from now.
Yeah.
But with Danny, though, I will say he has definitely sparked my wrestling interest even more. Because, yes, I created this We Are Wrestling channel because, Chaz, my first ever co-host, it was him and my idea to do the We Are Wrestling channel. But around the time, I was really not as passionate about the wrestling community as much as I am since Danny has been a part of the We Are Wrestling channel.
Absolutely.
And for years, I always, my number one priority has always been Best One Network and DITB1. And, now with the growth of the We Are Wrestling channel, the community is freaking amazing.
Priority.
It's now, my number one passion right now.
Dude,
and a lot of that, I have to give Danny credit.
Absolutely, man. Like, he is a very just talented individual when it comes to, entertainment, to the camera, to the craft of wrestling. His knowledge, majority of it is unprecedented. As much as I hate the fact that he's a fucking AEW mark and he spends 90% of the day slandering the wrestling business, but obviously for improvement, it's a matter of opinion, but you know, I have to give it to him because he is one of, you know, the best people you could possibly have, you know, on your team when it comes to production on a passion such as this. You know, it's, you
Yes.
know, I have loved being on this show because of you guys. And this channel has grown significantly with, you know, the right host. And Dan has helped you grow this significantly. Like it's so
Hey,
organic
and
now,
that's the
man.
thing. That's the thing, man. I want you to also give yourself credit here because you've been coming in clutch as well with the talk show. And I know you always say I'm not a permanent, on the talk show.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, Ben. You are part of the We Are Wrestling family. Like
Abso-fucking-lutely, man.
this is mine, yours, and Danny's here. Because like we've always wanted to work together, and finally, the right opportunities have come
it
along,
worked out
and we're
so
killing it.
organic. It worked out so organic, and it's just like we all love to talk professional wrestling, and we just have such good chemistry.
Group chat, literally, we talk 24 hours a day about
Literally
it.
every single day since we've made it the We Are Wrestling group chat, we all speak at least once a day, but it's continuous conversation. So like I never thought that all three of us would be as tight as we are, but this has become such an important part in my life as well because I get to express
here.
my passion on a platform where real people are tuning in to listen and to share that with all of us. And I think that's really fucking cool because this is something I wanted to do since I was
And
a
not
kid.
only are we doing like these, talk shows as well, we're also going to wrestling shows, doing vlogs, and
Oh my
people are
God.
starting to recognize us.
Health,
It's
dude.
such a cool feeling,
That dude,
man.
to actually like witness you get like recognized from your channel, like that happening in front of me was fucking awesome. Like I was so humbled by that fact. I was just like, this is fucking awesome, dude. Like, and like,
Hey, and at the end of the day, man, that's the thing, like us, because the thing is, I wouldn't want to be doing this without anybody else, man.
oh
I'm
fucking
blessed to
yeah,
be
man.
doing this with you, and I'm blessed to be doing this with Danny. And Danny, he'll definitely be back. Trust me, guys. This is only a one-time thing.
Absolutely.
This is never going to be probably happening again. But just know,
I'm soaking it in right now.
well, if it does happen, if it does happen again, we're both going to have to give him a 3D through a table. Though,
Yeah, dude.
definitely.
Easy. Easy. Like I said, man, if that fucking I forgot what I said, and I think the live stream, if it got like some or live stream or an episode that we did for We Are Wrestling.
Yeah, you must have. Well, yeah, you did a live stream with Danny on Monday.
I said I was gonna do an RKO through a table if it got something. I'm gonna have to watch that back. But I swear to God, quote me right now on We Are Wrestling. If you guys want to see me throw Dan through a table and any moves, we will put polls on the channel. Do you want to see an RKO, a fucking flying Shawn Michaels elbow? Do you want to see a Swanton bomb? Because if you get us in the next, I'm gonna say within the next 3 months, if you can get us to 2K, I will put Dan through a fucking table on camera.
Yo, how about no? I'm gonna make okay. If you're gonna put him through a table at 2K,
Yep.
I am going to be like the Sandman, and I want to hit him with the Kendall stick.
If we can find a kendo stick, dude.
I have one because of DIDB1, bro.
Okay, yep, it's going down. So kendo stick and through a table. What's up? A 3D through the table and then a kendo stick beat down.
Oh,
That's what we're doing.
great.
Yo, he's gonna watch this and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yes. This has been a roller coaster beginning before we get
It's
into
fun.
the video game
It's
stuff.
so fun.
But hey, we broke some kayfabe here, but but now like going back into character, like
Yeah.
fuck you, Danny.
All right, yeah, fuck you. All right, two things. Fuck you, Danny, and two, Jay is better than Jimmy. All right.
That's right. Jay is better than Jimmy. I always have to make that clear.
Can we put that on a piece of merchandise in the future? Just like put fucking We Are Wrestling and then on the back in quotes put hashtag Jay is better than Jimmy.
You know what I'll do? I'll make a custom shirt. I'll get like
Please.
a Jay Uso figure and like a Jimmy Uso figure, and I'll put the X on Jimmy Uso, and I'll put Jay is better than Jimmy.
Jay is better. Dude, I still watch.
But here's the thing: we can't sell that because of WWE. But like for us to have, I think that would be.
I think that's
funny.
that should be like a limited edition, like fucking like crew shirt. Like only the crew gets them. We'll never make it for the public, but just know I will wear those to a show, including fucking a WWE show.
I'll wear it too.
My goal is to go into front row at either a Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-view, have the Usos there to interview. Yes. Yes. Fucking wear a shirt that says fucking Jay is better than Jimmy. Get caught on fucking camera flipping off Jimmy. Putting
No,
Jay's better than Jimmy.
what we need to do is at a pay-per-view, man. We once we get some freaking money
Notoriety.
here on the table here, we need to just go to a show, get the camera view, and have a sign saying Jay is better than Jimmy.
Jay is better than Jim, and then put fucking hashtag We Are Wrestling with all the fucking with
Hashtag We Are
all
Wrestling.
of the fucking
Hashtag
handles.
26 in Pure Rage.
Yep.
Hashtag Best One Network. Hashtag Danny
Yep.
H Vlogs. Oh yeah.
Could you
All right,
imagine-
but we're getting a little carried away now. So let's get into our topic for this week's episode
Ugh.
of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show: wrestling video games. Where do you want to start? I say like we should definitely start with the first game that we played.
Okay, so the first game I ever played, and I think it was called this, but don't quote me. You'll definitely be able to tell me what it is because you're a fucking maniac about like the older days in wrestling, where I had just my wrestling career started in the Attitude Era, but it was like 98 to up.
Oh yeah, I've done my research.
So the first game that I ever played was on, I believe, the Nintendo 64. And it was the Stone Cold cover with him flipping up the thing, and I think it was Raw's War, maybe?
That
I think-
could be.
I think that's
with the Attitude Era. There was
Yes,
a game
it was a
that did
WWF
come
one.
out. I don't know if it was 64.
yeah, it was a
Like
64
I
game.
I played it on I think I played it on PlayStation.
I played it on
the
64.
one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it is Raw's War. That was the first one, and like what they had like the video
Ahmed
introduction.
Johnson. Yeah, Ahmed
Like,
Johnson.
wait,
Ken
was it
Shamrock.
that video? Real quick, was that video game that like it kind of had like the grunge feeling to it, and then
Yes.
like the wrestlers like had videos, like
Yes.
custom videos of them?
Yes.
Yes, that game. Oh my god,
Yes,
I
dude.
remember
That
playing
was
that.
the first ever fucking wrestling game I ever played, and that actually is what helped spark my love of. And I feel like everybody that has watched wrestling, and if you're a legitimate like diehard wrestling fan, we have all dreamed of having our WrestleMania moment. So that is what sparked the like, dude, I could totally do this. Obviously, I can't do this physically, but like, in your head as a kid, you think I could totally do this, and that is the game that got me on that catapult of fandom, like fucking fandom. And it was like really just blocky, shitty fucking graphics, like copy paste on the fucking figures and shit. You had Goldust, Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson, the Nation
Owen
of
Hart.
Domination, Owen fucking Hart, Stone
Bret
Cold Steve
Hart.
Austin, all of mankind.
And now,
fucking
because
shit.
I believe that game was released in 1998
I believe so.
when Brett was a part of WCW.
And
But
it was just Owen
because
Hart.
of them being in productions of the video game, Bret Hart was actually in it.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was definitely like a really fun game. I played it later on, obviously not in 1998 because I was like 1 year old.
Mhm.
So
I feel like that.
never would play video games at that age.
I feel like that game is like what like started the road to all of these amazing wrestling games.
Yes,
that we
it
play
definitely
today.
it definitely carved the path. I agree.
100.
A lot of people I know do say No Mercy
See,
for
No Mercy was fun.
64, but I never played it, so I personally cannot give an opinion about No Mercy.
I'm only giving my opinions on the games that I've actually played.
Yes.
Like I've played, I think Day of Reckoning once, like maybe once on
Haha.
GameCube.
All those opposite systems, because for me as a kid, I was a PlayStation guy. Like I
Same.
really wasn't GameCube and Xbox really.
I was more of a
I
PlayStation guy,
had
too.
the systems and like I would try them for like a few times, but it never hit me like the PS2.
I think the next game that we could definitely get into, because you may have played it. It was on PS2. And that's what like started kind of getting the wheels rolling. The next game I'm gonna bring up is what really made me love it, and we'll get to that. But the game that really got me like interested in wrestling games, Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain. Brock Lesnar on the cover.
Whoa, hold on, we're gonna rewind just a little bit
Okay.
real quick.
That was my favorite so
because
far.
I'm gonna tell you guys my first video game that I played as a kid.
Mhm.
And I did go back like through time, obviously,
Oh, of
because
course.
I loved wrestling so much to where like I would go to some collectible stores and like they would have the old games for like $5-10. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
of course, as a kid, I'd be like, Dad, can I buy that game? And then literally he'll go, sure.
Sure.
And
Why the fuck
then,
not?
you know, and then because it was only like $5-10, so
Yeah,
you
it's not
can't
like,
go wrong with
$60 game that everybody fucking like demands their parents buy nowadays.
that. With the DLC packs and all that fun stuff.
So, you're totaling that's like $200.
But here it is, guys. This is my first game that I played right here. Smackdown 2.
Oh my god.
Know your role, man. I did not play Smackdown 1 until like later on, but this was the first game I was
Wow.
introduced to.
Wow. That is a
PlayStation 1.
fucking relic, my guy. Holy shit.
And then there's the back of it right there.
That's when they still sold them in CD cases. Holy
Yeah, man.
fuck.
Isn't that crazy? I believe I rebought this at, I think, Video Game Hunters in...
On the
Or
X,
no,
right?
Castle. Video Game Castle in
Oh,
Chicopee.
got you. Okay. I know exactly where that is.
Or Video Game Hunters in Springfield. I
Okay.
can't really remember. But yeah,
Either
this
or.
is my first game. And for me, like, my memories
Wow.
playing this, it was so cool. Like, I love the music. Like, it was so, like, in the future, like, 2000s, where, like, you had that, like... Yeah, like, like, literally. And then, like, you would, like, go to the people and they'd be like, Crash Holly. And, like, they would, like... and, like... But like that game was so much fun. Like I always remembered the shitty graphics, and in the Royal Rumble you'd only, I think, be able to have 4 people in the ring at a time. And then like you were able to go in like the kitchen. You could wrestle in the kitchen, like the streets, stuff like that.
That was a
which introduced
game.
which introduced a lot of additional content.
That's when they nerfed the fuck out of the Royal Rumble fucking setting on the games. Because back then you could only have 4 people, but then when you got older, you had the games where anybody was in the fucking ring. You made one wrong move, if your character was damaged enough, they will throw your ass over the rope. So it made it fair, but it was so fucking frustrating.
Okay,
Oh
one
my
thing
God.
too I want to talk about that's really funny
What's
because
up?
of the evolution of like wrestling video games is absolutely insane.
Oh, dude,
Because
especially now.
on the SmackDown 2, the friggin' Know Your Role game,
Mhm.
literally you would have the entrances, but like you would only like get like a little bit of it, and then like they would cut it, like not even like them walking down the ramp and like to the ring.
That was bullshit. Yeah, like you couldn't even like have the option to skip. It would just do it fucking for you. And I hated that because it's like, dude, sometimes the best shit happens when they get to the ring. Like,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels didn't fucking do his little fucking thing until he got to the fucking ring. So it's like, bro, if I missed that, I would be fucking livid. I love
Yeah,
that
but
shit.
hey, but the gameplay was pretty fun. I will say
So
that
fun.
for a really old game, such a fun, they had really
Wicked.
cool. I think they had like a King of the Ring tournament too in this,
Yeah.
which was really cool as well.
That's
And
back
that's
when
like a
they
mode I
included
would
so
always
much cool
play.
shit, dude. Like that, dude. Older games to this day, I still feel like are the best fucking games to play, even to this day.
For real.
Because you need a legitimate strategy, It's not just a fucking, here you go, have fun on this journey that you're only going to fucking play once and then
Gotta get the
shelf it.
map packs.
But,
Fortnite season 100. You gotta get the pass.
listen, bitch, we're only on, season 3 right now, so chill the fuck out. I'm kidding.
Whoa! Well, here's the thing, though. I'm one of those idiot consumers because I literally buy every 2K every year, and I spend $60 on fucking building a character. That's a
Hey,
waste of time.
listen, don't even be mad because I do the same thing with Call of Duty. The next shit game that comes out, I'm like, that is fucking whack, but bet I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, seriously. But,
But-
speaking of another old game, that I will say, I played it a little bit with my cousins, like on like school day offs,
Yeah.
because they were big into WCW at the time. And this is another old game that I used to play.
Back when Goldberg was
here.
actually a good fucking wrestler.
Yeah, not Oldberg. But there it is. With the gameplay, this one I really wasn't the biggest fan of because I think around the time WWF whooped like WCW's ass in video
That was
games
during the
easily.
war. That was during the fucking Monday Night Wars, bro.
I really just wasn't a fan really that much of the WCW games that much. And maybe that's because I grew up on Attitude Era.
Same. But I need to just since we're talking about WCW and fucking, WWE clapping their cheeks back in the day, I bring this up every single fucking time because it is literally the funniest memory I will ever have during that era. And that is when DX invaded WCW and they were going around on an actual tank. And mind you, China was the manliest one out of all of them because they're cracking jokes and she finally broke character when fucking Triple H had the megaphone and she started laughing her ass off, like low key to herself, when he was like, "We will start at the Northern Scope with WCW, the wrestling." Fucking Triple H was in his prime on the mic during those fucking days, and he just kept getting better. Especially in the
DX was
06
so
DX
fun.
days when him and fucking Shawn Michaels were clowning Mr. McMahon, and he was like, "Stop it!" And fucking
Oh,
Shawn
that
dropped to the
Michaels
floor.
falls.
He just dropped to the floor after dancing around in the fucking ring. And then he's walking out
Yo,
like
they had
this.
some funny stuff, man. The DX has always been one of the best.
I just needed to
easily.
bring that up because of the wars.
I,
But
re-
yeah.
I respect that. I showed a WCW game, like that's the repercussions
Yeah, man.
for that.
I can understand it, not doing well, on the market, because during that time for wrestling fans who are the most toxic and the most invested fan base in the fucking world, we're boycotting the fuck out of WCW at this point. So none of their shit was really doing well at the point. They were already starting to kind of go under. They only really, I feel like, did this to help, push WCW a little bit up. And it wasn't really a ratings war, as in it's like, hey, I know you're a wrestling business. A lot of our projects there, we're trying to keep you above float.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it
Yeah.
ultimately came down to, but that understandably comes into the downfall of a lot of their product, including video games.
Yeah, with GCW, that game had a lot of potential as well. Like
Never played it.
I heard a lot of ECW fans really enjoyed it for the time.
Because
that it
ECW was
out.
great back in the fucking day, but unfortunately, again,
But it was like the
went
first
under.
time they really that was like the first time though in wrestling games that really introduced the extreme
Yeah.
and stuff. Like they would have like the tables and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I definitely now I kind of want to get into the early 2000s with wrestling games with WWE in particular because of course
That was the pinnacle.
WWE has the most wrestling video games out there. And I
Sucks to
say
establish,
we're
huh?
going to talk about WWE and then we'll get into the non-brands games that
And
are
then-
not WWE and then back to like maybe the new stuff.
No, I was saying no. Then we can end this whole talk show episode with the potential AEW game coming out, because I do have some things I want to talk about.
Oh, and also there's another game coming out too. I don't know if you heard about this. I think Wrestling Code or something. They're
Yes,
they're working on a new independent game.
yeah, and fucking
Similar
Grim,
to like Legends of
yeah,
Wrestling.
the Grim experience. He's
Yep.
in it, and he's lit about it, and I'm
I
stoked
know
for
the
him.
Scott Steiner. You saw that with the Scott Steiner video when like they had the and then Scott Steiner's doing his workouts and then Grimm's just going Big Papa Pump, Big Papa Pump.
Yeah, didn't
then
like
Scott
Steiner
Steiner just
actually
kicks
like
his
mad
ass.
as fuck? Did he actually get like mad as fuck about that?
I
But then
don't
again, it's
know.
fucking it's Scott Steiner, so I mean, I'm not surprised that he may or may not have gotten legitimately offended. But yeah, I'm stoked about that. We can definitely
Yeah.
get into that conversation a little bit.
So in 2001, for me, I believe that game it was not. I'm trying to remember. It was not just. Yes, Just Bring It.
Yeah,
I
just
think.
bring it, and then there was
That
Shut
was
Your Mouth.
2001, and then Shut Your Mouth.
It was
Then
like
Here
02 or
Comes the
something like
Pain.
that. Yeah, Here Comes the Pain was my
So-
favorite so far.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about unless you like. I don't know what your opinions are on the Just Bring It game back in I think 2001.
Yeah, I may have played that one in passing, because like my brother was more of like the like very early on, like earlier than me, because my
Mhm.
brother had also gotten exposed to like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter a lot early on through my older cousin.
Yeah.
So he was like more in depth with the earlier games. So I played it once in passing. During that time in particular for the wrestling games, specifically for WWE or WWF at the time still, they were still very much so in the experimental stage of how they wanted their game to really be formatted. So it was still very like I wouldn't say super wonky, but it didn't have enough appeal from my very fragile mind at the time to really want to grind it. But they had a lot of
Yeah.
good talent in there. There was a lot of good things about the game. And again, they made it a real wrestling experience in the game, which they hit on the head. So that's really all that I can personally say on it, because I only played it in passing.
Yeah, like with that game, Just Bring It. That was a game I definitely grinded out. My
Just
opinion,
Bring
I
It was
thought
The
that
Rock on it, right?
yes.
Okay, and he was
with
like
The Rock
this,
on it.
like he had his like hand
Yep,
out like that.
with the Just Bring It. But my opinion overall about that game was I had a lot of fun because it was a big difference with the Know Your Role game to
That was
Just
a
Bring It.
huge animation jumps, graphics.
You
jump.
had way better matches, better graphics, better entrances,
A lot
more
better
people
engine.
could be in the Rumble matches, and just overall, it was a fun game. I definitely really enjoyed it a lot. The roster I thought was
Stacked.
one of the most underrated
Stacked.
rosters in the game.
See,
Easily.
that's another thing that I will say too. Around that time, fucking, what was I gonna say? Around that time in 2001, that was like a whole new millennium. Like we took a huge jump from, the last game that had dropped to like we were just getting new engines back then. So like exactly. We were getting new engines back then. So it's like, everybody it wasn't, I wouldn't say crammed into one game, but there was a lot of experimental difference, which made it so just, oh my God, like we're in the future of shit now, you know? So I think that's also what
Yeah,
had to do with it as well.
definitely. So now, Shut Your Mouth, 2002.
I think I may have only played legitimately one match of that game.
Ooh.
I played a lot of Here Comes the Pain though, so once we get there
Oh,
next.
I can't wait to get into that one. But with Shut Your Mouth, that's another game. Like for me, I really think from 2001 to about, I want to say after SmackDown versus Raw 2006, that was my period of like that
your
was my
golden era,
prime.
right?
That was my golden era
Yep.
for wrestling video games. Like Shut Your Mouth, I felt like was such a perfect game. Nothing went wrong in that game. Really, I had a lot of fun playing it, but it was very similar to Just Bring It, which
Yeah.
is why I think, a lot of people don't really consider it the best wrestling game. But now this one coming up, yeah, a lot of people think it's one of the best wrestling games out there, and that is Here Comes the Pain with Brock Lesnar
Back
as
when
the
he
cover.
was like the new, oh my fucking God, of like that was like their child. Like that was like their fucking baby, man. So having Brock Lesnar, on it, and I know where that name originated. It was Taz. He yelled, "Here comes the pain" when Brock Lesnar F5'd Undertaker in the back fucking room when he re-broke his fucking hand. I
Oh,
remember because he
shit.
said, "Here comes the pain," and that's why they had not only Brock Lesnar on the fucking cover, but that's why it was the title of the game too.
This game was one of
That
the most fun games.
was the revolution into what got me hooked. Like the character customization was my favorite part of the game because then now you were making entrances, you were making details on your characters. My favorite thing to put on all of my characters was the black skull mask and the fucking Super Saiyan Goku fucking hair. That was my shit back in the day. That was like a
Yes, and
huge thing.
one big thing I believe too was this was one of the first games as well
Mhm.
that introduced legends to unlock.
Yes. Yes.
And not just like a Commissioner Shawn Michaels that you would get in your not Just Bring It, Know Your Role game.
No, these are
This was like
unlockable
legitimate legends, which was
Mhm.
really cool, like Sergeant
So
Slaughter
fucking cool.
and Million Dollar Man, Jimmy Snuka. This was I really think the story mode on this game so underrated. This story mode is the game mode I played. And I think like what was it? Like a create a superstar or was it brought like you chose a wrestler?
No, yeah,
Yes.
you could choose a wrestler or use one of your creators with the preset voices.
Yep, and I remember I always would pick like a certain wrestler and I would always, play the career
Because
mode.
their story is completely different, and that's what made it so interesting. Is that each fucking superstar had a different path you could take, and that was so fucking cool.
And like wouldn't you be able to go backstage and like that's like how you would pick your paths before you like go to the entrance stage?
Yeah.
Such a fun game.
Now, the next game I'm about to bring up is what started me on the entire journey of being in love with wrestling games. Like this made me fall in love. SmackDown versus Raw on the
This is
PS2.
my game.
That is
This
my
right
fucking
here is
game.
my game.
Yes,
This one's
100%.
my
I'm with you.
game right here,
I'm
straight up.
with you.
I love this game. I have a clear memory of this. A lot of these
vivid.
are very like a little foggy because it's been a
Bro.
while. But this game, I have so many
GM mode,
memories
bro.
about.
GM mode, the roster fucking mode, bro. So, I remember the first match I ever played when I put the fucking game in that day. And ironically enough, my brother and I chose our favorite characters at that exact that moment in time who our favorite wrestlers were. On the fucking right hand side, you had weighing in at like 290 pounds, 6'4", fucking animal Batista versus the 5'6", 165-pound luchador Rey the fuck Mysterio. Let's fucking go! It was so fucking intense. That's when the finishers had their own cutscenes. You had the slow-mo
Yes.
shit.
No, here's the thing
Oh!
I loved. Here's the thing I loved about this game, and it was the freaking Smackdown versus Raw.
Yes.
The freaking story mode where you would pick
Yes.
Smackdown or Raw, and then you would go, like, you would try to compete for the US or the Intercontinental. Then you would go for, like, the WWE Championship, and then they would unify the titles at Mania. And it was really SmackDown versus Raw. And let's be honest here, this is the best cover in video game history with wrestling.
So Don,
Unless you disagree.
I'm not disagreeing with you. If anything, that will still forever go down as my favorite wrestling game of all time.
Oh, real quick, by the way, I got some really good news as well.
What's up?
Just when you thought we were going to have no Danny, well, he messaged me back, and he's going to be on pretty soon, but he has to take a piss. I guess he ate some chicken and passed out.
Yeah, he said he's eating. But
yeah, so with the SmackDown versus Raw, I just want to say this. This game, man, so many memories. I love the legends that you were able to unlock because you would get, like, I think, like, coins and stuff, and then you were able to go, like, into your locker room, and you'd be able to buy the legends that you would want to get for the game.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every second of this game. I just want to say that. I love this game.
But like I said, SmackDown vs. Raw was like my pinnacle of what made me love wrestling games. And that was the first game where you could legitimately customize your finisher.
Whoa.
I want to give a shout out to 2006 real quick because that was my second favorite. But there was for one reason. And it's a random reason that you wouldn't be able to guess. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 is probably one of my favorite games for this particular reason. It was the final game that Eddie Guerrero voiced his character.
Oh, shit.
So when you play as him going on the fucking Road to WrestleMania mode, the GM mode, if you use his character, he voices the entire thing.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, that was the last thing Eddie Guerrero did.
Okay, here's one thing here's one reason why this game here is by far one of my favorite wrestling games.
Yeah.
And the reason to that is because this was the first time as well you had a stamina bar in a match.
Yes, which made it realistic.
Because you see here in all these other games like this one, you'd be able to run around, do 100 front flips, and then, like, not feel anything. But then, like, you'd be like pretty much like, you know, just out of it.
You just start.
And I think gameplay wise, controller wise, I love the controls for this one.
And it just makes it so much more fair.
This is the best controls. I think besides WWE 13, which I will get into later on, this game right here in particular, absolutely amazing gameplay.
I think another reason as to why I loved 06 as much as I did too is because that was also during my personal golden era of wrestling when I was the most obsessed with it.
Me too, John Cena.
The storylines that were going on in the real world at that point, you know, were huge for me. So like that is my golden age game. And another reason as to why I loved it so much is because it has my favorite high flyer of all fucking time in it, and it's the only game that he's in, and it's Paul London. It's the only game that he's in. Oh
my god, I used to play as him all the time.
Same. I still if I could play a game to this day, I would still have his entrance be my default.
And easily with the crew, and easily the thing I like too is the GM mode. It was way better in this one.
And this you could customize fucking belts.
This one and 2007 were the best GM modes.
That's actually where I fell off, was 2007. But I loved that you could customize belts in 2006. Like you could make.
I love the customized matches.
I do
like,
too.
You actually,
I love them.
I think just overall the gameplay on this one is one of the best.
The fucking movesets themselves for customization like went up a completely different. Like they were acting on God mode at that point. For that time, that game was way ahead of its time.
Way too good for its time.
100. And again, like the last game that I think I fell off of was 2007, and I think that was the one with Triple H on the cover with Shawn Michaels.
No, that was 2009.
Oh, it's Triple H. All right, that one has Mysterio, fucking Tori Wilson, fucking Rey Mysterio.
Oh, let's go! We got Danny here!
Fucking guy! Hey, we were just shit talking the fuck out of you for a little bit. What's up?
What's going on?
Bro, my wife fed me Puerto Rican food before she left, man, and then gave me an ice cream, and I knocked the fuck out. So I apologize.
Well, hey, but it's all right. It's all right. You're here. But here's the thing. We'll recap on what we've talked about so far, and then, you know, we want to hear your opinions about the stuff and, like, just your overall views.
Okay.
So basically, so far, what we have done is we shit talked you. Maybe we did not praise you at all in the beginning.
No,
of
we
the
didn't. We
video.
didn't praise you at all. We were like, yeah, this
Yep.
is why this dude needs
So
to stay the fuck away from
don't go
WWE
back.
product.
Don't go
period.
back and watch it.
This is what I get for fucking staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning and making fucking cool ass
I told
thumbnails
you.
for these
I
videos.
Yeah,
fucking
yep,
told you.
that's right, man.
I
Danny
told
is
you.
the heart and soul of the We Are Wrestling
Wait,
channel.
you guys have bedtimes?
But
Oh my god.
yeah, so like with the thing, we pretty much what we got into was like our first video game, wrestling video game that we played. What was your first video game that you played,
I'm fucking
wrestling
curious.
wise?
WWF No Mercy. for the
Yeah,
N64,
I
man.
want you to
would
give
play
your
that-
opinion on No Mercy because I can't really give my opinion on it. I never really played it as much. I know Ben said the same thing.
Bro, I played that game for an entire summer one
It's fun,
time.
man.
And like if I had to go somewhere with my mom to like a family event or something, I used to get really, really, really pissed that I could not play the game. That game, bro, if you ever have the opportunity to play that game, even though like, it's however many years old, fucking play it. I have never played a video game
It physically made you
that
upset to leave
controls that controls as beautifully
Man, I
as
gotta
that.
tell you,
me
Like
with
that, I
SpongeBob Battle of the
guarantee
Bikini Bottom.
that's how I felt about SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. I just could not stop playing it, and every time I had
I
to, I was
loved it
I was
too
like
much.
miserable.
So good for its time. My first game, Danny, was actually right here, SmackDown, the Know Your Role.
Mine was fucking Raw's War.
But I did play like the old arcade games and stuff later on, but like the first time I actually played a wrestling game was that.
Yeah, I played No Mercy. I played
Same.
WrestleMania 2000. I played SmackDown.
You played
Know Your
Day of
Role.
Reckoning?
I played SmackDown
Day of
2.
Reckoning at all?
That's the GameCube
I have both of them.
game, right? I never owned a.
Oh, well,
never owned
I
a
have both of them.
GameCube
So if you ever want to
when I
flex
was-
it out one day, Dan, I got you.
I'm
Hey,
down,
I have a
man. We'll
GameCube
fucking
game
break
right
that
here
shit
too that we
down.
could talk about. Boom.
Hey, I have that too.
So we also
I will
got
say-
into like the early 2000s with the games before SmackDown versus Raw a little bit, like you
Yeah.
know the Shut Your Mouth and like Here Comes the Pain.
Bro, Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth, dude. Those games, I would play fucking religiously, dude. I played the story mode on those games at least 20
Hell
times.
fucking yeah, dude. I just SmackDown versus Raw, when that shit dropped and the fucking GM mode came out, that was what made the fucking world go round, man. Yep. Here Comes the Pain. I spent a lot of time on that game, but not
Yeah.
nearly even close as to 2006 SmackDown versus Raw. That was my shit, dude.
I loved the SmackDown
Oh
versus
my
Raw
god.
stuff.
The first one will
So
forever
good.
be my first love, but 2006 is like neck and neck right
That's
there.
like so special, that game there. But
That's
like
when
for
wrestling was
me,
great.
the thing is like before, because I realized, we talked about the three really good ones, Just
Yes.
Bring It, Shut Your Mouth,
Yeah, the Mount
and Here
Rushmore of
Comes the
them.
Pain. But now, what about the GameCube and like Xbox exclusive games like Day of Reckoning and like the WrestleMania games that they would do?
I will
and stuff
say
like that.
that the off system games that weren't on the PS games that were basically like the main storyline, I guess you could put it as.
Yeah.
The off brand games didn't have as much to offer, but they were fun in the in between times of waiting for like the main THQ games. Like it was like that was a
Mhm.
good thing to keep you excited for what you're looking forward to for the future. Those were kind of like, for me, they were like filler, if that makes any sense. They were like filler games. They were just like fun little side quests for me, if that makes any type of fucking sense.
Yeah.
You want to know here? I don't know if you guys have heard this yet or not, but this is kind of really cool to think about. So, this company called, it was either Jax or Uke.
It's Uke,
I
and
can't
Kenny
remember- I can't
Omega
remember
had a
exactly.
huge falling out, and that's why I want to talk about it about the AEW game finally.
Yeah, he's they are gonna be they're pretty much like the head people putting together
Yeah.
the new AEW game.
We'll talk about that when we get to that game, because that's what we're gonna close it off on, because it'll be the most recent game coming out to date, so we can put our input on it then. But good point to bring up, because I actually wanted to talk about that.
I just felt like I
Just in
had
case
to
you
bring it
forgot.
up.
Great
because
main
we're
event
talking about the
topic.
Old school.
Yep,
we're
it's
talking about
that's
the
gonna be
old
the main
school
event topic.
games. Yeah, we're talking
Because
about the
believe it
old
or
school
not, where
games
I'm
or
not an
whatever, so,
AEW mark and I don't watch it as regularly as I should, and I know that I should, but Wednesdays are really busy for me for whatever fucking reason. I'm very intrigued and very excited about the AEW game, so we'll definitely talk about that when we get to the main event.
Yeah,
I'm
me
intrigued
too.
too.
As me as well. But yeah, so like I felt like with the off-brand games, for me, I just wasn't the biggest fan of them because for me as a kid, PS2 was it's all my all-time favorite game
It had to
system.
have been. It
Console
had to have been,
easily.
dude. It was just so organic. The mechanics were there, and the engines were fucking great because it was during the good time of paced evolution.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
One game that I
Yeah.
do have to mention, and it's definitely a new game. It's one of the 2K games. I think it's 2K18.
That was
The first first 2K pro wrestling game
I
I
actually
ever played.
heard
I love the
that
story
was
mode
actually the
for it.
better one out of 2K19, which was a fucking
Mm.
train wreck apparently comparatively now. So we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
But
They had to
dude,
skip a 2K, literally.
yeah, dude, it was a fucking train wreck. I remember hearing and seeing so much about the disdain for the fucking game. Like the graphics were awful. Like, oh my god, it's like I felt like they relapsed with that fucking
Yeah.
game with
Yeah.
2K19. That was a
Know Your
shit
Role
show.
had better graphics than that.
That's what I'm saying. Like none of these guys even looked remotely close. The
Even the
one that looked the
WrestleMania
most,
arcade game had better graphics than
dude,
that.
the most character that looked like the closest to them was John Cena, and he was cross-eyed as fuck. Like that was the only one that somewhat looked like their actual like human persona. But dude, that was rough.
Well, I feel like with the
Mhm.
2K games, it's almost like
Yes.
Call of Duty, right? To where they try and pump one out every single year, and you don't necessarily need to.
That's
what
the
I mean? It
issue.
doesn't
Like I
give
was
you time
talking
to
a little bit
perfect
about
it.
that
Yeah.
with NBA 2K. They do that every single year,
mean,
and then
look
you
at-
spend like $60 on the game, but then you
And
also
it's
spend like
shite.
another 60 on a fucking character.
And it's shit. And like this is good evolution. Like I'm gonna give you guys an example. It's non-wrestling, but I'm gonna give you an example that you can relate to, even if you haven't played the game. A game called Elder Scrolls Oblivion came out in 2006. Elder Scrolls Skyrim, which is
Mhm.
still a huge fucking game to this day rather, came out in 2011. That was 5 years after the fact. The sixth
Yeah.
game that's coming out that doesn't even have a fucking title yet, but is being sufficiently worked on as we're sitting here speaking. The next Elder Scrolls game. Skyrim came out in November 11th, 2011. And the next game for that got announced in 2019. We're not going to see that game until 2025. They have been
And that
working on it for over a decade. So it is going to be
and that's
beautiful.
And that's the thing, like, I really feel like any type of, like, games out there that, like, come out with consistent games over and over,
There's always going to
those
be
are the
one things
games that
wrong.
are not good, but, like, the ones, like, why do you think Sims is so successful?
They
They
take
actually
time.
wait, they take their time, they wait for the new ones,
The
and they
next
still give
GTA
you
is
the
going to be
little bit of
fucking
content.
phenomenal.
GTA, yep, they're another one that's patient.
That's why
Yeah.
people ask me all the time why I love GTA, and because I mean they take their time and
But while
effort
you
into putting
wait
these
for the
games
next
together.
game patiently, it's like they're adding shit to 5 to this day to keep you good until the fucking
Mhm.
6th one finally comes out next year, I think.
That's why WWE
Exactly.
2K22 I think is a really good game because they
They took
actually
their time.
waited.
And they waited and they skipped a whole ass 2K to make sure that this one was right, and fucking look at it. Like the motions,
Yes.
even Drew McIntyre when he like throws in the sword in his entrance looks like Drew McIntyre actually doing it. And the fucking
Yeah.
oh my god, the mocap in that fucking game. They had the actual superstars scanned and then do all of their moves and recorded it in mocap, so it is executed beautifully in the engine. Oh my fucking god, dude, I'm exhilarated to play it. I'm so excited to play it.
I will say it is worth the $60. So if you
It
have
is worth it.
the money,
100.
I
And
definitely recommend you buy
eventually
it.
I will. Like I said, I just picked up a job, so
And that's me being nice to WWE. You know how I fucking am. If it sucked, I would have no problem
absolutely,
telling you.
man.
Yeah, so with SmackDown versus Raw, obviously, you said, Ben, that it was definitely the first one and 2006.
Yes.
How about you, Danny?
Like favorite.
Yeah,
What
like
was that?
favorite for SmackDown versus Raw.
Favorite game? Favorite SmackDown versus
Oh,
SmackDown versus Raw
oh.
was just so good, man. Like that was the epitome of sports entertainment video games was SmackDown versus Raw.
I wanna say the first one.
Okay.
Because I mean it was the first of its kind.
Wow.
You know, you got introduced to the draft in the game. You know, the controls were pretty good. You
So
know,
smooth.
I think
enjoyed it.
Oh, my heart's racing. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack because I'm actually
I love the
agreeing with
way,
Danny
like, and I love the
100%.
way,
Holy shit.
I love the way, like, how as well, like, I was saying this
Well,
earlier in the talk
because
show, how, like, you were able to, like, go in the locker room during the creative mode and, like, you were able to unlock
yep.
legends like that.
Dude, that was fucking great.
I gotta say, like all the SmackDown versus Raws were pretty good, right? They all had
Oh,
their
yeah.
flaws, but
Nah,
they were
nah, nah.
pretty
You
good
can
for their
take the
time.
first SmackDown versus Raw and take any flaw you think it had and throw it out the fucking window. That game was perfect. Shut up.
Exactly, but
And no, the stamina
trying to
thing,
say,
though.
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, if it wasn't for the first one, you
No,
wouldn't
of
have got
course,
to see
because
it.
that was
So
like
you no matter what, the first
I
one
have to
always
put
has to be
out
the
that
best.
SmackDown vs. Raw, the first one, was the only fucking video game for me in history that came out with little to no fucking flaws. Like it came out like immediately out the gate fucking great, but they made the right
Yep.
improvements going forward that we didn't even think was a fucking issue until we finally got it. It's like, oh my god, this is so much better. Like that
Yeah.
was like the first like game from SmackDown vs. Raw to 2006 that really improved itself without even knowing that it needed improvement.
Yeah, for me, like, it's just I could take things from all these SmackDown versus Raws and
Mhm.
say what was really good about them. Like,
Seriously.
for me, one thing I really enjoyed in this one, SmackDown versus Raw 2007,
Yes.
has to be the Money in the Bank. Introducing
That
the
was
Money in the Bank
so
match.
fucking fun.
Such a fun gameplay.
So fucking fun. I think I have to give 2008 a really good shout out because that was when ECW was first introduced to the fold. And that's
Yes,
when
they
you had
were.
Bobby Lashley
Yep.
as champion, John Cena as champion, and Undertaker as champion. That storyline during that time in legitimate wrestling was phenomenal for me. I loved it. I loved it.
Am I the only one that misses the fucking cool ass
I
cover
do.
art for these video
So
games?
good. Like this one,
Usually,
2009.
Yeah, dude, that one was actually sick as fuck. I will say I do love the Rey Mysterio cover for 22. I do love it. He deserved that cover.
Yeah.
Especially since, this is his
I like
final
it.
year, so
I like it. I like it too, but majority of the 2K games is just like the rest. It's just like a picture of the wrestler or whatever, and really nothing
yeah.
else. Like there's not much that
What I
goes
will
into the
Yeah.
say
artwork,
to
and I
to
kind
add
of
to
miss that.
Donnie's like excitement about unlocking legends in the older games, what I loved about it is even just like the simplicity of how it was presented. Like for Raw, you had Raw, the red, and just Raw. SmackDown, you had the blue SmackDown. But for the
Yep.
legends, you had the classic WWF symbol, and it was gold. I loved that. I think that small detail really made it
Yep.
exciting because it was like almost playing Fortnite or Apex
But
where you're getting the better
best thing
guns and you're
though
like,
about
fuck yeah.
yeah, and the best thing I think about SmackDown versus Raw is literally you have to pick Raw or SmackDown.
And I loved that fact because that made the story so exciting because each superstar that you played as could take different routes as it was, but each brand still had different stories, which is so fucking cool. Like on Raw, you had the primary focus, which was the World Heavyweight Championship. On SmackDown, you had the WWE Championship as the main priority. And I loved that because that's when the brand split worked because they had so much talent and so many amazing fucking storylines in these games
Good
and in real life.
creative.
Creative was at its peak during the fucking SmackDown versus Raw days. They were at its peak. And THQ carried that shit, dude. Carried it.
THQ's the goats.
The GOAT.
Easily.
The absolute GOAT of the
But I
fucking
just want to say
WWE
this with SmackDown versus Raw 2009. One thing I
Yes.
really liked was I believe this was the introduction to Road to WrestleMania.
Now
where you would
was
pick a wrestler and like you would have to do their mode. Unless
was that the
that's
first one that had
2008.
Jeff Hardy in it? Was that the first
Jeff?
game that had Jeff in
No.
it? No?
Nope.
No, I'm saying like
No.
that had it in like after his return in 06. Was that the first game to have him in it?
Nope. That was 2000, I think 7 or 8.
No, that he was actually in?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I know I'm pretty sure he was in Here Comes the Pain too, because he still had
I
like
think
the
it was
jagged haircut
2007.
and all that shit, and he still wore
I
like
do
the
think it was 2007 that he made
that he
his
was in.
debut.
Yeah, because he had just
Yeah.
come back to
Return.
fight
You want
Edge
to
for the
know what?
championship.
You want to know what game that
What's
I
up?
really enjoyed when I was a kid, and it's a game that really doesn't get talked about. It's Nah, I don't know if this is like the exact name for it, but it's WCW Backstage Brawl, to where the entire game, like
Don,
every
throw up
single
the
match
throw
took
up that
place
cover that you showed me
backstage.
earlier.
I got you.
Did it look a little bit like
It's
this?
for,
Oh,
N64,
N64. Well, I
I
say, well,
believe.
did you play another game that looked like that with Goldberg on it? Mayhem.
Yes, I remember that game too.
I knew. I was like, yeah, throw that up real quick.
Bro, I love
Dude,
those fucking
abso-fucking-lutely,
games,
man. Like the older games, even to this day, even if I end up loving 2K22, I will forever love the older games more.
And I think that's just
Forever.
like it really comes down to just a nostalgia feeling.
That and just like I feel like it comes down to age
Yeah.
because we're old, man. We're fucking old now, man. Dan's
Yeah,
already
we're
fucking
old.
turning 33. Fucking
I'll be
sorry,
32,
32,
bitch.
sorry.
What the
I was
fuck?
off by
Trying to skip a fucking year?
You do?
You'd be taking naps like you're 60.
Danny, do you know how many years you skipped with all the cigarettes you used to smoke? And I skipped one and I'm a fucking evil human being? What the fuck?
Yo, the
Hey,
way that he said it too.
I've been smoke free for 2 years.
The way he said it, he said, "I'm not fucking 33. I'm fucking 32." You
Seriously,
fucking...
dude, he had a fucking conniption when his aunt couldn't find her pint that was underneath her ass. Like he just flipped at me like that, dude. He came at me reckless for nothing.
Damn,
But
that's
continue.
crazy.
I
This game
digress.
was also underrated too. This one was good. The last SmackDown versus Raw.
Bro,
SmackDown
I don't
versus
think
Raw
I ever
2010.
played that, if I'm being honest, because I was just so fucking pissed about
I love
09.
Road to WrestleMania on that.
I got out of video games and
Yeah,
wrestling for a while.
same here.
So like going back, it's hard for me to like dictate like what
I
game
think-
was the very last SmackDown versus Raw. I know
I
I didn't
can't
play all of
all
them.
the way from 2010 to now, 100% to now, I can tell you I have not played a wrestling game because I stopped watching wrestling consecutively from 2014 to I want to say 2017 when the Hardys came back.
So so you
Nope,
stopped watching it
that's
when
wrong.
CM Punk left?
I got you back into pro wrestling when we were living
No, I
together
was
at
talking
my
about
aunt's house
games.
as roommates, remember?
Yeah, like
Oh,
I fell
games.
off
Well, you
in
didn't say that.
2014 to 2017. I mean, I fell off of pro wrestling from 2014 to 2017 because I wasn't interested because it was during the PG era, so I stopped watching. I still kind of somewhat followed up, but I don't follow up. I wasn't following up like at all during that time, just because I was disdained with the fucking product.
Yeah, and the night the Hardys came back, I have a little story to tell you
Ooh,
guys. Everybody that's
story
gonna be
time
watching
with
the We Are Wrestling
Daniel.
talk show.
Say what you gotta say, bitch.
Yeah,
I know what
it's
you're
gonna
gonna
have to
say.
be there's gonna have to be a new segment.
Story time
But
with
the
Daniel.
WrestleMania 33, the night the Hardys came back, man. This motherfucker he wanted to watch The Walking Dead instead of watch WrestleMania. And he fucking showed me on his phone. He was like, dude, guess what? The Hardys came back. Couldn't even fucking watch it because I was at his
Do you want to know why?
dick. Because you were fucking...
No,
sucked
well,
Negan's
actually,
dick.
yes, at the time, yes. But
This dude, I've never seen somebody more obsessed with The Walking Dead than this guy. He has a giant cutout of Negan.
That's okay.
my cat's fucking name is literally Negan. But anyways, that's literally besides.
What?
My cat's name is Negan, bro. You didn't know that?
Your
Yeah, my cat's
pussy
name-
is named Negan?
Yeah, and the other one's name is Lucille, so shut up. Anyways, as I was saying, God damn it, you made me fucking forget what I was gonna say. Oh no, never mind. I got it actually. The night of, we were watching The Walking Dead. The main reason that I didn't switch it is because one, I didn't have fucking WWE Network, and neither did he at the time. Two, so I couldn't fucking physically watch it, even if I fucking wanted to. So it's like,
Yeah, I did.
I had nowhere to fucking load it up. I didn't even have an Xbox at the time yet, dick. Two, and it wasn't on fucking streaming, like on cable yet. So fuck you. I couldn't go to any fucking streaming service WWE. It
What did
wasn't
you
on
have for
fucking
cable?
Xfinity. It wasn't
What
on
did you have for
Xfinity yet,
cable?
though. It didn't have
Wait,
Xfinity.
what did you have? Wait, you had Xfinity?
Yeah, and it wasn't on Xfinity yet, the WWE
Oh, you're
Network.
fucking lucky.
So,
I was
two-
stuck with Charter my whole life.
And two,
Spectrum.
it was The Walking Dead season finale. That is one episode I do not fucking miss. And I told you that, and you're like, okay. You were fucking pissed off after you found out the fucking Hardys were on it. You didn't even know they were gonna be there, asshole. So suck a dick.
When it
Before
comes
you
to-
clown my
okay,
shit, make
let's
sure
be
you got the
honest.
receipts.
Mania was not that Mania was not really that
It
good.
was
except for
booty.
the
That was the
Hardys.
only good match.
You know, to this day, I still haven't watched
Yeah.
that WrestleMania. I don't go back
But
and
yet,
watch WrestleMania.
he had the
It's too
nerve to
long.
clown me right now for the shit he didn't even have the receipts for. I do, bitch, because I hear about it every fucking year. Every fucking year since that moment. Bro, you gotta watch WrestleMania.
Wait,
Okay.
but like a little bit off topic, real quick. In
What's
all
up?
seriousness,
What's up?
how's your pussy Negan doing?
He is currently asleep in the cat bed with Loki.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
But
Trying to
I
clown
will
my
say,
shit.
since you guys did not really watch that, like you guys didn't really play that much wrestling games
Yeah.
around the time, I will say the PS3 had some, pretty. I think like they had
Pretty
some very
stellar.
weird games, like All Stars and Legends of Wrestling
Fuck
was
it.
very bad. Those were some really bad
Legends
games.
of Wrestling. Oh my fucking god. That's when they tried to tune it out and make it like kid friendly too.
Yeah, with like the
Bro, I
oversized
love the
people.
old school backyard
We're gonna
wrestling
get into
games.
that after. I really want to talk about that. I really do. But real quick, I just want to say I'm going to tell you guys what my favorite game is, which I probably should save this till the end, but I'm going to just say it right here. This is my favorite game right here. Easily.
WWE 13. I heard they
That
have
I
like
heard
a
was
mode in
actually
there
really
where you
good.
can like recreate the Attitude
This
Era.
game, yes. The
Excuse me.
first time they reintroduced the Attitude Era, you were able to customize Attitude Era arenas. You had the best customization. I think the creative mode was the best. The create a wrestler and the movesets. The gameplay was so freaking smooth. And the roster that they put together in this freaking game was, I think, the best. Easily.
Choke me the fuck out and
I will not
pass
hit you
out.
as hard with the Kendall stick.
So I wouldn't put nothing past you, you Asian
All right,
fuck.
so a little background on this because this actually kind of coincides with what we're gonna do to Danny when we get 2K views, 2K subs. So back in the day, I was and I'm still a very huge Kiss fan, but I'm not as serious as clearly as I apparently was. As a joke, I thought it'd be funny. Dan told me that he didn't like Kiss, so I thought it'd be a joke to pretend to choke him out, but I think I may have put a little too much pressure on, and he went very limp and collapsed to the floor and was unresponsive for a good, I want to say at least 20 seconds while I was sitting there shaking you, freaking out, because I think I accidentally legitimately killed you for not liking a band that not a lot of people like in the first place. So yeah, that actually worked out. So I
Wait,
apologize.
so let me get this straight. You choked Danny out because he doesn't like Kiss.
And it was like a fucking like a Karafuda clutch. Like it was like an actual Karafuda clutch. It wasn't just me
Well,
like
I
yeah.
will just let you know this right now, Ben. I love Kiss.
And I didn't even mean to knock him the fuck out. I just put like the wrong amount of pressure on the wrong spot. Well, technically it was the right spot.
Just so
but
you know,
still.
next time we're in a vlog or something, I love Kiss. Don't kill me.
And it was a joke, and he actually passed out. I was like, oh shit, like how am I gonna, dude, do you know what,
I think I fell on the edge of the bed.
do you know what they do to guys that look like me in jail? It rhymes with grape.
Yeah, Bubba becomes your brain.
It rhymes with grape.
I love how this was an episode about video games. Now it's an episode about you.
Okay, since we're talking about... Now this is the perfect time to talk about this game, Danny.
What's up?
So since we're talking about, crazy things that happen, like pretty much like that are just crazy, like choking people out and Kendall sticks and friggin' tables and all that fun stuff, let's talk about friggin' backyard wrestling.
Woo! I can't give any input on this because I've never played any of them, but...
Oh, no! You've never played a backyard wrestling game.
No, because I actually did backyard wrestling, asshole.
I did too.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
did I. I knocked on
Yeah,
his
then you got in
tooth out.
trouble. Oh man, but yeah, I can't really give input on the games, but I'll sit here and I'll definitely listen. I'll take the info in.
I don't remember much about like the gameplay or the graphics
I
or anything
do.
like that, but I do remember playing those games a lot. 20
Which is nuts to think because we were all around 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
And to remember it.
I was born in
I was born in
1990,
95,
man.
so I understand.
I was born in 97.
Damn.
But,
We just literally gave our fucking ages out to the public. We're fucking pieces of shit.
No, we didn't, because we didn't give our months or
November
our days.
29th, 1995.
November 8th, 1997.
September 9th, 1990.
September
No,
9th.
actually we did on our Instagram page at We Are
We
Wrestling.
did.
So if you guys want exclusive content, go follow us on the We Are Wrestling Instagram page. We do some fun stuff over there. But yeah, speaking of the backyard wrestling, I just want to say the second game here absolutely sucked compared to number one. Number one was where it was at. I really enjoyed the story mode on it where you had Mad Dog, who I believe is Matt Cross. He's a independent, sensation in the business right now.
Does
the
he
guy that's on
perform?
the cover there.
Does he perform near us at all?
He wrestles all the time, Limitless Wrestling and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's cool because like I love like the locations that they had the games at and like the characters that they had in the game. I believe Sabu was in this one, which is pretty cool.
I love those games because they weren't like mainstream games or whatever, and they shed light on a lot of independent wrestlers
Yes.
instead of just guys from like WWE or WWF at the time, WCW, so on and so forth. That's one thing I love. Like they had a lot of ECW guys back then, but you have to remember when these games first came out, ECW was big, but it was a niche audience. It wasn't like in the mainstream like it is today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is with this game, I love, the ICP friggin' music in there. Like, it just had that really cool backyard wrestling vibes to it. And for me, I really enjoyed this game. And I'm surprised that my dad even let me play these games.
It's what Raw
at a young
Underground should have
age.
been.
Who remembers ICP's WWF
The
Attitude Era run with the
oddities!
oddities?
I hate
Welcome
ICP.
to the greatest show.
I hate ICP so much.
What, you're not a fucking
Bro,
juggalo?
you should.
What the fuck I look like? No? I know
Whoop,
somebody does,
whoop!
though.
I do too.
Who the fuck you
Who?
think? The same dude that almost slit your fucking throat for scratching their CD, dumbass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, so this game I thought was really cool, and like it was just I love like the settings. Like you were able to wrestle in the backyard, you were able to wrestle at a strip club, at a meat place, like a shopping mall. Like this game was so fun.
Yeah. It was different for its time. I don't think people could get away with making that game today because of how
No.
brutal it was. You know, I feel like people are too sensitive nowadays.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I feel like those games came out at the
Yeah,
right
but
time.
okay, so how about the original Legends of Wrestling? This is the second one. The first one had like the blue cover on it. Do you guys ever play those or no?
I'm not. I don't believe
It's
I played that
unfortunate.
game now.
Yeah, these games. I will say this one I haven't really tried yet, but the first one I tried, and it was a very fun game. Some of the best like legends they actually had in the game that you couldn't get in WWE games.
Yep. I loved remember the old WWF War Zone? Dude, that game
Wait, that's
game
the
was
game that
awesome.
you were talking about, Ben.
That's
Your
the
first
one.
game.
Warzone. That was the first fucking game I ever played wrestling wise. That was the first fucking one, dude. Then it's when you had the fucking stacked Attitude Era roster. Ahmed Johnson, Nation of Domination.
Yep.
You had fucking Farouk. You had fucking The Rock back when he was still.
Bro, you got to implement some of the fucking video packages because they have them on YouTube.
Yes.
So
Like
awesome.
Ahmed Johnson said, "I'm coming for your head, boy."
of Domination. That was my shit, dude. I loved the Nation of Domination, man.
I'm the best there is, the best there was,
And the best there ever will be.
That game came out for N64, and then I believe it came out for PlayStation
Yeah.
1 too.
That was a fun game.
That was a great
Oh,
game.
fucking yeah, man.
What about the arcade game? You guys ever played that one, like the WrestleMania?
Yes.
Like that arcade one?
Long time ago.
I may
Long
Very
fucking time ago.
cartoony.
Yeah,
It was a long time
may
ago. Again,
have.
probably in passing.
Do I remember anything about it? No.
Yeah,
Couldn't
not
tell ya.
really that much.
I don't really have much of an input.
Yeah. But another game I really want to talk about, and this one I don't know if you guys played.
What's up?
You maybe have or haven't. Impact?
No, but I have seen it on
No,
the
I
shelves
never
plenty of
got-
times, and I've debated always getting it because I wanted to play a Sting.
Ultimate X. That was the coolest thing on this game.
I actually watched a video. Somebody was talking about that
Mhm.
game yesterday, and apparently that's one of the most flawed wrestling games out there. The controls weren't that good. It was really glitchy when it
Yeah.
first came
Yeah.
out. Not many people really liked it. It wasn't.
See-
like the
No,
top
but here's the
seller, you
thing.
know?
Like, the Ultimate X match by itself was such a fun match to play. on
Before
this
we
game.
get into the main event topic, I do want to ask you guys a big question because this is going to be a big one.
What's up?
If you could have one of the WWE games remastered, what would it be?
Damn!
I came in
I will
swinging,
say-
bitch. I came in
will say-
swinging.
Yeah, you came in swinging with that
Probably
Negan
the,
bat.
Should have seen my monitor.
only one, or can there be at least two?
I'll give you two. I'll give you the one
Okay,
that you
two.
want, but then I'll give you an honorable mention.
The original SmackDown games.
Okay.
Dude, those games were fucking flawless.
Understandable.
To me at that time.
Don.
Well, I was very fortunate because a few years ago, I know this is not wrestling related,
Yeah.
but they remastered one of my all-time favorite games of all time, and that was SpongeBob Battle of the Bikini Bottom.
Hey, I remember
That
that
was like
shit.
one
That
of
was
my
my
favorite
shit.
ones.
This dude is showing his fucking
Golden
age, man.
spatulas, man. That was the
Golden
best.
spatulas, boy.
But yeah, if I definitely had to pick two, I will say one of them that I definitely would love to see remastered is probably SmackDown versus Raw 2006.
That'd be my first fucking choice. So,
And
yep.
number two, I'm sorry, this is not a wrestling one, but I have to go with PS2. I don't know if you ever played ATV 2, the quad power racing
HTV
game.
Off-Road Fury 2, that was my
Bro.
shit.
That was the
Yes.
best game ever
Yes.
for racing.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I
What
do,
about
bro.
M-
I
what
still
about
play
M-
it to
We're
this
playing.
day.
We're playing.
Freestyle, man.
Fuck yeah.
Freestyle mode, the
Fuck
races.
yes.
What about MX versus
No.
ATV?
No, there's nothing that ever comes close
No,
to
you
that.
fucking
freaking
AEW
ATV.
Mark. It's WWE shit.
But I had to put it out there. We're
Hey,
talking about
I
old
know.
games.
Yeah,
If
got
I
you.
had a second option, I'm sorry, there's no other wrestling game that I would want to remaster, but
Yeah.
I would pick ATV.
All right, so if that's the route we're going.
Bro, MX versus ATV had the greatest fucking soundtrack on the fucking
No,
planet.
fucking
dude.
didn't.
No. ATV,
fucking
the
did.
quad power racing, though, had a
Bro.
pretty good soundtrack.
Madden
Some
06 had
Godsmack.
had a better soundtrack than that shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it fucking I don't even
Backyard
play
Wrestling
football.
had better freaking
I don't play
graphics than
football.
that.
I don't watch football, but fucking Madden 06 had the best fucking soundtrack I've ever heard in my life. That shit had a Treyu, Manson, fucking Ozzy, you name it. It was fucking awesome. Don't at me, bitch.
MX versus ATV, man. Every time I hear that fucking soundtrack, I just want.
I did like that soundtrack, but and I did like the game, but it has nothing on fucking fucking ATV Off-Road
Tell
Fury 2.
ATV, man.
Off-Road
That was
Fury 2
the
was
best fucking game.
I've
Hands
spent
down.
hours on that game when I was 8 years old. I spent fucking hours.
My whole life, I've always, like, come back to that game.
Absolutely. So, I'm going to agree with you on 2006 for SmackDown vs. Raw being remastered just because, oh my fucking God, like, I would put hours into it again. But, like you said, I was very fortunate enough to have the game that turned me into a professional gamer got remastered last year, and it's called Diablo 2 Resurrected. But at the time, it was called Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, and it came out in 2001. So and it was a computer game, so it got remastered. Oh my God, I've already put I think like 65 hours into it since it came out. So and it's just playing the same exact thing, just in better fucking graphics. And
Yeah,
better audio.
so now my question now,
What's up, fam?
before we get into the main event
Yep.
thing. What's the worst wrestling game you ever played?
Ooh.
I know for me it's definitely a 2K.
For me, because I haven't played the 2K games yet, for me, the worst one I've ever
Can't even
fucking
think of
played
one.
in my entire life was WWE Legends.
That was a
It was
bad game.
horrible,
honest,
dude. That
I-
was
I
ass.
can't
I'm
think of
sorry,
one.
but that game was fucking ass, all the way down to the fucking like, whoever like literally made and developed that game and had that fucking idea needs to be fired and jumped in the parking lot and divorced and take the kids with them. Like that game was fucking garbage. I'm sorry. Quote me, it was garbage. Continue.
I bought a PS3 literally for that game, and
And you were
so
disappointed
bad.
in the game, but at least you had the PS3.
Yeah, but that's literally all I got it for was that, and I think All Stars, and they were ass. But then 13 came out and it
can't
made
think of
up for
anything.
everything.
And at least the older games were backwards compatible.
Yeah.
So, that was at least what made it better, so.
One thing that really irritates me is the fact that the 2K games, they're not cross-platform.
No.
So
No,
like
that's
you
dumb.
can't play with people that are on
Yeah.
fucking PC.
I
or
feel
anything
like if you
that,
own a
know?
PC and have it on PC, that's the one system where you should be able to cross-platform because a PC is basically both.
Yeah.
It runs anything.
Yeah.
Like, you can get any game on PC. So it's like at that point, I feel like it should just be an open server for PC players.
Yeah, so for me, it's tough because for me with my story, after 13, I fell so much in love with that, but then I fell in love with NBA 2K.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of went down wrestling. Like wrestling games weren't really it for me anymore. I
Now
tried
they came back with a
I
vengeance.
tried 14, but it just the roster was great, but it just wasn't the same as 13.
No,
15 was the first
I don't
2K
think-
one, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And then like now the first one I actually like with 2K is the 22.
Mhm.
But my worst game out of all of them, I have to agree with you, Ben. It's got to be that
Legends.
friggin' those PS3 friggin' Legends of WrestleMania.
Man, it just I feel like they just bit off way more than they can chew. They were
All
very
Stars
deep
was
into
bad.
PG. Oh yeah, All Stars fucking horrible, dude. Okay, no, I take it back. All Stars was worse for me.
Dog shit.
Dude, that was just excrement. Like somebody literally took whatever the left of excrement that was in their fucking pants and then threw it on a disc, and that's what we got.
Yeah, they're trying to definitely like make a wrestling Power Ranger game out of
it was so fucking stupid. Like I don't even.
It's
want to talk about it.
morphin' time.
Bro, I'm still waiting for a Power Ranger game that's like fucking like pretty much like an open world type of thing to where like whenever you see a bad guy you can fucking like you power
Dan,
up
do
or
yourself a
whatever it
favor.
is. I've been
Do
waiting
yourself
for
a
one of
favor.
those
This
games
isn't a video
forever.
game, but it's a new movie coming out, and it just got done filming. Were you a Power Rangers fan growing up, Dan? I'm assuming you are. So you know who
Yeah.
Tommy is, right?
Yeah,
Jason David Frank is currently just got done with a movie called Legend of the White Dragon. It is an adult version.
Yeah, for
It's an
Bat in the
adult
Sun,
version
for Bat
Power
in the
Rangers,
Sun.
but it has nothing to do with the Rangers, and it is rated R as fuck. Like as fuck.
Yeah.
Dudes from Arrow are in it. It's dude,
Rated
I'm
R
so
to,
excited.
I think Bat in the Sun is the same company that made that R-rated version, like remake of
Okay.
the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And dude, people got so fucking butthurt over that. They had to fucking age restrict it and shit, and they had to take it off of YouTube. They had to put it on another video platform because people were flagging it and having it getting taken down, and there was petitions because like you saw the Power Rangers fucking swearing, and there was like blood, and it was.
So Jason David Frank
insane.
decided to clap back with Legend of the White Dragon, which was an adult-friendly fucking new story. But it was very inspired by Power Rangers, what made him so fucking huge. And I don't know if you've heard about Ninjak in the Valiant Universe, but fucking John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny fucking Caballero,
Johnny Drip Drip.
he fought Jason David Frank in one of the shows. I'll send you guys the link
really?
if you're interested. Like Johnny Nitro was in it.
Bro,
I will.
send that over.
I'll actually.
Send that
I'll
over.
look for it. But like,
Okay, so now getting back into the wrestling, video games and stuff. What would you?
I can't think of a game that I didn't like. I played War Zone. I played No Mercy. I played Smackdown Know Your Role. I played I can't remember what the second one is. I played SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 and I think 2007, and SmackDown Know Your Role. Like all the games that I played were like classic. I can't think of anyone that I played that I was like, oh, this is fucking.
Yeah,
horse.
here's
I
why
can't think of-
probably.
yeah.
Because you are very smart when it comes to, making the decision. Like, if you know something's going to be ass,
Probably.
you are not going to do that. And I know we had a little debate on our little messenger thing that if you want to, get into it a little bit, we can. You got you're like, I'm not paying. I would never pay freaking for a ticket to go to Monday Night Raw.
I would.
Yeah, because I know
Me and Donnie will. Fuck you.
If I don't enjoy it, if I don't enjoy it on TV, how can I enjoy it?
Because
But
you get to
you're
go
already
see it live and
suffering.
get a
But
fucking
you're
night out
already.
with the boys.
But you're already suffering watching it for 3 hours on a
Might as
live
well
stream.
do it in fucking person.
Like
Wouldn't it
on
be better in
SmackDown.
person?
Charlotte was cutting a promo, and I muted it because I didn't want to hear.
Shit,
But you know what
fucking
you do.
Charlotte's
But
set
you
to
know what
lose
you
at
do.
Backlash.
But you know what you do. Like when you're at the wrestling show,
Start
you just
yelling
go,
your shit.
Nope.
Bring
You
headphones.
go to the bathroom.
That or just start yelling your shit that you want to yell at the people right there.
Well, no,
Bro,
Danny would get kicked out if he did that.
That's fucking fine.
If I went to Raw with you guys, I'd be the one telling everybody, "Yo, this is fucking horseshit." I'd be.
Odds
telling
are they
everybody
fucking
in the
agree with you, but they're
arena
there
how
chilling too.
horrible it is.
because you can't go wrong with $15 of entertainment.
This is what I'm gonna tell
Like,
you.
The movies cost. Going
That,
to the
and I
movie
will
theaters
say-
costs more than a wrestling show.
I'm gonna put it
now.
to you this way. You can hate the product, but I love the superstars. So yeah, I would go.
That, and if I were
Live
to
reactions.
go, one thing that I
Views,
have
subscribers.
one thing that I have gotten used to, and me and Ben did it. Whatever. Ben wasn't that crazy about doing it at first, and then he fucking loved it. Sitting there watching the superstars arrive, and then watching
I want
like
to do
leave
that.
after the show.
We did that when they came to the Mass Mutual Center. That's how I met Natalia Neidhart and almost
Yeah.
Lacey Evans and Seth Rollins and fucking Becky Lynch waved at us.
I'm jealous.
And
we
Robert
got-
Roode said what's
we
up
were
to us
in,
as he was pulling up.
At the Cape Cod Melanie tent,
We
I
were
met
in Le-
Christian, Mickey James.
Suck a
Kitty
fucking dick,
Wong.
Donnie. Nobody asked
We
you.
were in
Whoa!
we were in Lacey Evans.
Yeah, we're Lacey
Wowie,
Evans'
wowie.
Instagram story too, and fucking Natty's too.
That's awesome.
Dude, it's a great experience, 100%. So if they ever come back down for a house show, you should go with us.
Yep, I'm following you guys.
Bro, they were supposed to be at the Mass Mutual Center. They're supposed to have an event back in 2020, and then
They're
the
gonna be
pandemic
touring
happened,
again.
and they have yet
Well, they're
to
out in fucking
reschedule.
Saudi right now, bro. Not Saudi. They're out in fucking
No, they're not.
fuck.
England.
England, yeah, they're out in Europe
UK?
right now. But if they do come back, I'm definitely
they're
down to
not.
fucking go. 100.
I am
And
too.
we'll go early as fuck and camp right outside that the garage, so we're right up against the fucking rails.
Ah, yes, sir. So now, obviously, last thing before we get into, the main event here,
What up?
just this one's pretty quick. Best wrestling game.
Oh, fucking 06.
I gotta pull out mine.
06.
WWE
2015?
13.
W13.
It can be any.
I
It
can't
can
think
be
of one.
which one did you have the most fun playing then?
Yeah.
Because that could just be the one.
Probably WWF No Mercy. To me, that game was flawless for its time.
I can respect, dude, because again, that was during the evolutionary period, so I can respect that 100 because that's when everything was starting to go in the forefront of the future.
Yeah. So going now into our main event topic for this week of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, the AEW video game. But before we get into that, I want to know, Danny, have you heard of this new independent wrestling game gonna be right now currently being worked on?
We just talked about this.
I think it's Virtual Basement's working on it. It's called the Wrestling Code. And they're trying to
I have
actually
not.
get like the best like independent wrestlers and legends into the game.
Let me ask you something, Danny. Do you know who the Grim Experience is? The YouTuber that's also a wrestler. He's a bigger dude. He's got a beard. He's in it.
Grim's Toy Show.
Yes.
He's in it. And he was fucking like over the moon that he's in a wrestling game, dude. It's fucking lit. I'm stoked for him, man.
Yeah, they're
He's
like
a YouTuber like you and I.
I'll definitely check it out.
You got it,
It's
man.
lit,
Wrestling,
dude.
the Wrestle Code, man. They're working on it. It's gonna be cross-platform,
It's gonna be lit,
and
dude.
it's gonna be a really big game.
We're all getting that game so we can play.
That means
Yep.
yeah.
I'll
Probably
get it for
PC
Xbox
because
and
that's
he'll get
I'll
it for
get it for
PS5.
PlayStation.
Look at that.
But now, obviously, let's get into the AEW game.
Okay. So this is going to be the first game that is released by AEW, which is the rivaling company to WWE. So far, it looks pretty promising. The graphics are a little wonky right now, just because it is their first product. They're trying to
It's
find
currently
who-
in production.
Yeah, and they want to find who their like eventual home is going to be, kind of like THQ was with WWE.
Apparently, Tony Khan put $8 million of his own.
I believe
money
it
into this
because
game,
Tony Khan
into
is
the production of
trying to
this
be
game.
as successful as Vince, and when you do that, you have to take the risk. And I think it's wonderful. I think it's phenomenal. I think that the roster is stacked for it. I think that the idea is there. I do believe that they deserve their own video game and have their own franchise, just like WWE.
I will say,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I will say, one, when it comes to the name, Fight Forever, I can't think of one AEW show I've seen to where the crowd didn't chant that for at least one match.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
It is
it's a perfect
perfect
title. And with the amount of people, now I would imagine they're gonna have a lot of download DLC.
Oh, yeah, probably within, like, the next
Probably
6
because I
months.
saw reports that it's going to be right now 50 wrestlers,
Yeah, there's going
Yeah.
to be like DLCs
Yeah,
that
to
get
start off,
released throughout the
whatever.
year.
and that'll be more than 50.
But bro, this is gonna be the most stacked wrestling game.
In terms of
That
roster,
exists.
yes.
Think of everybody that's
Mhm.
in the
Bro, like I
fucking
said,
company, dude.
it's the most stacked roster out there in the wrestling world, period, right now, because Tony Khan is just fucking, he's picking up. He just picked up
Welcome
ROH
to
for
All
promotion.
Elite.
So, like, even ROH is all elite, man. So it's like,
Yeah, but a lot of the people that he's signing, I mean, you can't keep them free
No.
agents, just because you don't want to fucking be like, oh, here's another WWE guy. Like, if he let guys like Malachi Black, Keith Lee, if he let these guys just fucking, if he didn't sign them, he'd be a fucking idiot.
100%. I do think that, already it's going to need some more, improvement and a lot of tweaking. I think when it comes out, it's going to suffer a lot of bugs, like
Hmm.
most
Yep.
games do.
Very
But
common.
again, I don't expect this game to be immaculate or great. I don't even expect it to be good, but it's not an AEW thing. It's a first release thing. It's a first prototype,
Exactly. And
you
that's
know?
the problem here
I'm
because
keeping my
all the
expectations low.
WWE marks, at least you're calling it, which I
Mhm.
respect.
Dude, I'm not biased by any
That's
means.
the problem.
I love the fact that a lot of AEW talent are being involved with
Yes,
the
I love
creation of the
that.
game,
Yes,
though.
I
I love
love
how
That's what I
that.
Kenny
love.
Omega's got a lot of saying in it.
Evil
Even
Uno's
though
involved with the
I
creation of
like
it.
even fucking Nyla Rose, like, all things aside, like Nyla Rose is creative as fuck, like she's working
Yep.
on stuff for I think Marvel right now. She's, a huge fucking nerd, like, the three of us. She loves fucking wrestling. So to have her in on the creative process is gonna be fucking phenomenal. Because,
Mhm.
whether you love her or like,
Yep.
or hate her, Nyla Rose is creative as fuck and is a huge asset to have working on this game. Especially with her knowledge of everything.
And a lot of AEW talent, they stream on
Mhm.
Twitch and stuff like that. So they're like
It's gonna be
video game
promotion
streamers on
up
the
the
side, so they
ass.
know
It's
what
gonna be
makes them.
great. Adam Cole's gonna have a fucking field day. Matt Hardy's gonna have a fucking field day. Like, you got all of these people that are huge gamers as well in the industry. That's gonna help promote
Yep.
their game, and it's gonna be fucking sweet. But again, it comes with the first release curse. I'm gonna
Yep.
be shocked if that game kicks off and it's successful right off the bat. I'm gonna be shook. But I am keeping my expectations super low because I don't want to let my bias get in the way. I want it to
Mhm.
be, I want to
Yep.
keep it low. So I'm gonna be like, all right, this was a great attempt. It was a great, first try. And for what it's worth, it's a good game. But, just know that it's a first release and things will eventually get better. I just hope that they hit enough on the mark to make it satisfactory and have some replay value. That's it.
Yeah. My
Yep. Now
Danny, hold up, hold up, hold up.
Donnie.
Let Donnie go, man. Let Donnie go real quick, man. Just keep it in your
That's
thought.
right. You fucking jabroni. But my my thoughts though, like on this AEW game so far, don't take that personal. I was just trying to act like The Rock for a second. But yeah, my thoughts on the production side of things so far. It looks very promising. I think just the roster by itself is going to be a game that's going to be very fun to play because this is going to be CM Punk's first game in years.
Dude, I'm excited.
Also, Darby Allin, this will be his debut in a video game. MJF,
We get to
Sammy
see Jeff Hardy
Guevara.
versus Darby Allin next week.
Oh,
I'm
I can't
stoked.
wait.
I'm tuning into that.
Oh, you have to.
Darby Allin
I
versus
might have
fucking
to.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But I think so far, like it's looking very promising. Like I saw, Chris Statlander, her character mold. They
Yeah,
just
I saw
released
Kenny
that.
Omega's.
Looks very good.
Kenny
I'm
Omega
very
looks pretty good
excited.
too.
I'm very excited for this game. It has lots of potential, I think. And like, yeah, it's probably gonna be the first game curse. But I really hope that, AEW continues to do this because
Yeah,
us wrestling fans, we
absolutely.
need more options out there because we all know WWE now got the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to
They're
continue now
seasoned.
dropping games after games after games, and it's going to kind of, get a little repetitive after a while. So having the Wrestle Code and having, AEW come out with a game is a good thing.
I want them to take a little bit more time with it because I want it to succeed more for one reason. If they were to release it anytime now, it is automatically going to bomb for one fucking reason. And that is 2K22 is still very new and it's still the hot
Yes.
thing. So if you try to
They need
compete
to
with
wait.
something that is successful, it's going to bomb and you're not going to be able to have the profit to make another game.
Everybody, because I watch a lot of 2K content before I actually bought the game, and a lot of people like 2K. Like, I like it, but I haven't played it in weeks.
Same here.
The replayability of it's not there. I'm hoping the replay factor is a lot better for AEW, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It
no,
could
I'm
be
not.
worse. But I heard that a potential release date is this
That's a good
September.
time. Like, that's a good time because it'll give you about a year for 2K22 to kind of die down on the heat a little bit, and it'll give it a good release. The biggest thing that I have to say about this is overall, I'm excited for it. Like, I am genuinely excited to dive into the world of AEW and kind of see, what you can do with it because Tony Khan, again, since the start in 2019, he's crafted just this powerhouse of a promotion. So to see it in a video game and what other options that they have to offer comparatively to a WWE game and everything that they've seen, I'm hoping that the AEW game brings back a lot of things that the WWE games took out to give us that, so we have multiple options.
That is one of their goals for the video games, is that they are going back to No Mercy, and like they're going back to some of these old games and
Yep.
taking things that us wrestling fans genuinely enjoyed and liked.
Absolutely.
And that's important.
There is there since we're on this topic about AEW and WWE 2K, I want to get both of your opinions on this. And I read that whether it's true, I don't know. Maybe one of you know. But I heard that one of the recent patches, one of the recent updates for WWE 2K, they took out the ability to use any AEW related things. Before you'd be able to use the like sets from like Dynamite. People would like recreate like the Dynamite sites in AEW or whatever, and you'd be able to play that in WWE 2K. But apparently WWE had 2K put in a patch to where you can no longer utilize any of
Oh
this.
my
So like on the move sets or like the actual
God.
presentations?
Like the
Oh,
actual
like the
presentations,
arena and
you'd be able
everything?
to-
Oh, like cuz you can craft your own arena?
Why?
Yeah.
That's fucking lit. That's
You
actually kind of
can't.
lit.
Wow, because that's one thing. The reasons why
I can
I like buying
understand.
WWE games.
I can understand that standpoint though. I can understand because you want to leave that for AEW. It has nothing to do with, being against AEW. If anything, I think that's a good move to help AEW, especially with the release of their game coming out soon. I
Yeah,
think
but
that I think that's a mutual
here's the
respect
thing,
thing.
like, if you get sick of, using the same people on the rosters, like, it is fun to have a
Oh,
creative
no.
MJF versus,
No, you can
like, Roman
create the
Reigns or
character
something.
still. You can still create the character. It's just like the stage setups you can't create anymore. Like the stage and the arena setups. That I think is a good idea.
anything that's AEW related, you can no longer
Yeah, so
use
like
in the game.
anything like the stage setups and shit, I can understand that entirely because they were going to want to leave it for the AEW game. And that's a mutual respect thing. So I honestly kind of have to say that was actually a brilliant and a friendly move on WWE's part. Because that shows that it's not
I don't
greedy.
know.
I wouldn't say friendly.
I wouldn't say friendly, but I would say as a business standpoint, it was a right move. Like it was a good move in terms of mutual respect for the industry. So that was actually a good move on it.
Apparently, according to Athena, I don't know if you guys watched the interview with Chris Van
No.
Vliet, which
I've been
definitely
watching Chris Van
recommend.
Vliet. I'll
Yeah,
tell you who I've been listening to after you're done.
I watched that interview, dude. Watch that fucking interview. I'm telling you. I've never said this about any interview. Watch it. Very insightful into shit. She got scolded one day because her and somebody else were talking about AEW, and one of the higher ups heard, and they almost fired her because of it. It's like a banned thing to be talking about competition in AEW, even though AEW is, or WWE doesn't consider AEW competition. But I watched the interview, man. You'll get a lot of insight into the creative process regarding WWE.
Yeah, so the interview that I've been listening to a lot is this NXT guy. Like, he was an up and coming guy for quite a while. I don't know if you ever watched the series on WWE Network, Breaking Ground.
Mm-hmm.
There's this guy Tino Sapertella.
Mm-hmm.
I just listened to his interview with Chris Van Vliet, and I guess he's the guy that you probably heard this rumor that happened where he had a one-off in AEW on Dark, and then like something got leaked like to WWE, and they kind of spoiled what was going on in AEW, and they're saying it was him. I'm just saying
I never heard
this
anything
guy,
about that.
like, if you
So
look up his stuff, he's very good.
So this is where I'm going to come at it in a gray area, and I'm going to admit to both of you that I don't watch interviews like that. I don't watch anything that will diminish my enjoyment of the business. I watch Broken Skull because, it's like more of like an appreciation sit down where they kind of reminisce over things that they want to do. But when it comes to like the tea and like, the gossip side of things, I don't watch them purposely because it will diminish my enjoyment of this business. And that is the last fucking thing I'll ever do to myself.
Hey, I respect that, honestly.
So that's why when Dan always be
respect it
sending
too,
that
but-
shit, I kind of go off because I'm like, bro, I don't fucking care because I'm not trying to diminish my enjoyment of this thing as a whole. that's the
Hey,
only reason.
I'm like you, Danny, man. I fucking love the gossip. I love the tea.
Unless it
And I
is
think
going
that's
to
because I love
further-
reality television.
So even if it's heat, let me rephrase then. Even if it's heat, I'll only oblige and listen to it and genuinely be interested if it furthers the creative in the business or the angle. Other than that, if it's just personal, just excrement, I won't fucking listen to it. I won't.
I will say this Athena interview. Yes, it's insightful, and she does talk about why she's no longer
Mhm.
with the company. But she wasn't even going to talk about it unless Chris Van Vliet brought it
Mhm.
up, which he did. He asked her about it, and I will say at one part she started to cry because of how she was treated by WWE and the
Mhm.
management there. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I highly
Nope.
recommend you watch it, but if you don't want to,
Nope.
that's on you.
Like again, anything bad that I typically find out behind the scenes, it really does, bug me out
I will
because
ask you this, Ben,
what's up?
because I know you don't like the gossips and stuff, but when CM Punk got released and then like he had his first,
Oh, you asking
outside
how I felt?
interview, Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana, did you listen to that?
No,
Okay.
but I
I
do
respect
know
that.
some of the contents in it.
I didn't listen
I
to
do
that
know
either.
about some of the
I
things
didn't
that were
listen to
said.
that either.
I do know some of the things that CM Punk specifically said. And I've also, been along the ride for the 7-year turmoil that he's been bashing at the company like Dan's been doing for the past like 7 years as well. But at the same time, you know, I understood where CM Punk was coming from. Like if the company does this person dirty,
He got
yeah,
fired
I
on
know.
his wedding day.
I know. And I also know that the pipe bomb wasn't planned. Like everything that he was saying when he sat down on the front of the fucking ramp was not planned. And Vince was actually legitimately like, fuck. Like Vince was like, whoa, shit, we got to play this off like this is television. Like he was pissed, bro. Like, so I don't, there's a line that I guess I draw. There's a line where I draw. It all comes down to where I see it for the business, like in terms of my enjoyment. There are certain things that I will allow, and then there's certain things that I won't. Like if it's just like things to, for example, Ryback, I absolutely block the fuck out because it's like, dude, like this guy is basically another Ryback. Like he's like the Ryback of We Are Wrestling.
Wait, who?
Danny. He's like the Ryback of fucking We Are Wrestling. This dude is literally Ryback level when it comes to fucking trashing WWE.
How?
Can you
I'm
go
honest
to
when
the
it
We Are
comes to
Wrestling
Ryback
videos
when
and
WWE.
fucking just make a montage of all just the nonsense this dude throws out, even if it's
I'm
not
sorry. I'm
insightful?
sorry. As the editor of the We Are Wrestling channel, I will not do that because that consumes more time. Jay is better
Exactly.
than Jimmy.
Jay is better than Jimmy. But yeah, like I just, there's certain things that I'll listen to and there's certain things that I won't. Like if it's just one of those things where I'm just like, it's like petty, I won't listen to it. But if it's something big, like the CM Punk pipe bomb, or if it's the Montreal Screwjob, things like that, it's history. It's legitimate history that helps shape the business in some shape or form. That is what I'll listen to. But if it's
What
just
about
petty,
Dark
like
Side of the Ring?
I've never
I've
watched
never
it
watched
because
Dark
of
Side
this
of the Ring.
reason. But I also know
Yeah,
it's
I
being
was
done because
testing
of
you
this
there.
reason. Because
I
of
was
this reason,
testing
it's
you
also
there.
being canceled. So I'm like, dude,
Nope, it's not. It's getting
It's not
renewed.
being canceled.
Season 4.
I thought they said it was fucking done.
That was a fake
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
they're
article.
coming
Well,
back.
I
I feel like that's too depressing because they talk a lot about
death,
and a
It's
lot
dark.
about drug
It's
abuse,
dark.
stuff like
yeah,
that.
that's
I
the
will
dark side
say
of the ring.
that.
That's why I'm like, I'm interested in reading those again because it was history. This is the before times.
I'm interested in hearing about the plane ride from
Again,
hell.
there's
The
some
thing that
things.
fucking got everybody.
Again,
I will
the
say no.
car and
One
stuff.
episode I will say because I do watch certain episodes
Just
of
don't
it.
give it any away, just in case I do.
I'm not gonna spoil none of it, but the Owen Hart episode with Martha.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, Bret Hart has expressed frustrations and like she has as well through time.
Yeah.
And you kind of understand where she's coming from in this documentary, which I really do like how they
Gotcha.
did that. Same with even, David Benoit with the Chris Benoit episode. Because
Yeah.
his son, every day has to hear it all the time
Mhm.
about what his father did. And it's
Yeah.
very, touching and emotional. But
Yeah.
like the thing is, like, it's really cool to see that other side that you never get to see.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Jay is better than Jimmy.
Jay is absolutely better than Jimmy.
But so now, anything else you guys want to talk about the video games before we close off this episode?
I think we did a lot of historical coverage on it, man. Like I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. Like it was an exciting conversation and discussion.
Very happy.
I mean, it brought me back to my childhood, man. Got to
And I think honestly,
because I mean, it's not every day that we get to talk.
in
about
talks
this
like
kind of
this,
stuff, so.
it sparked another idea for another thing we can do on this channel. Like it's great talking about different things because
You always got to.
that's what I'm saying, and I feel like this would be a really fucking cool
Expand.
angle. Imagination. But yeah, I just
Jay's
had
better than
Just like what-
Jimmy.
Just like when I brought to
Maybe
Donnie
that
the
was-
idea of like streaming like our
And a little
reviews and
bitch.
stuff like
Gold.
that, you know.
Dust.
Hell
But,
yeah. Oops.
But you gotta always grow. You gotta always expand. You always gotta do new
Absolutely.
things, you know.
But hey, let us know in the comment section below what your favorite wrestling video game was. Because we already said ours. Mine was WWE 13.
Mine was
Ben?
Raw 2006.
WWF No Mercy for the N64.
That's right. But hey, if you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. The best way to support the channel is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications, because of course you already know. I'll let Ben do the masterpiece there. The grind is real. Oh man, links are
DDP
down
Yoga.
in DDP Yoga. Links down in the
Bang!
description below. You can go check out Danny's his vlogs and his watch-alongs. He just does a lot of stuff. Links
A lot
are
of
down
shit.
below if you want to go check out Ben's channel where he does reactions, and they also have a podcast, The Two Sticks and Pure Rage. Links are down in the description below if you want to go check out my two other channels, Best One Network. We do vlogs, we do all different types of stuff, and DBTV, nothing but basketball content. Links are down in the description below.
You're gonna have a bunch of vlogs.
That's
next
Oh
week.
yeah, I will announce that right now. That's a perfect way to end this
There
episode.
you go, Danny. Thank you.
So, there will not be an episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show. On Monday, I am going to be going to Monday Night Raw in Hartford, Connecticut.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to be sucking wind because I'm not using a vacation day for that Tuesday, which is usually the days we usually record our talk show. Wednesday is going to be busy with Dynamite because obviously I am not going to miss that, especially with the stacked show we have. But Thursday, I am going to be seeing the guy that performed Undertaker's song Rollin', Limp Bizkit, on Thursday. Very excited at Mohegan Sun. And I'll be using a vacation day Friday, but I'm going to be very gassed out during that because it's two
Burnout's
big
real, man.
shows. And yeah. But what we're going to be doing to make it up to the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there, because it's not going to disappoint you guys at all.
Hell
We're going
no.
to be loaded with entertainment because we are going to be doing a wrestling vlog week. 5 wrestling vlogs. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're not going to want to miss it. Such awesome content. I know you guys probably have checked out Danny's vlogs for the shows, but our vlogs are completely different, which is why you're going to want to check it out.
And you're going to be seeing all of us and all of them.
Content you see on my content, the content you see in my vlogs is not the content you're gonna see. in
That's
mine.
right, 2 different styles.
Absolutely.
Just like, technical wrestling and strong style. But,
Yep.
of course,
We gotta get Ben vlogging so we can get 3
That would be
views.
fucking lit.
to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, the thousands of subscribers, the best, you already know, we are taking over. Peace.